Wasn't that a great commercial? That's how we can help each other, by wearing masks. Well, several people in our congregation got together to work on making masks for people. Some people are buying fabric, some are giving donations, some are buying thread, some are cutting the material that's needed for the mask, some are sewing the material. Some people are washing the masks after they're made and putting them in little baggies so they can be handed out to people nice and clean. PEP has been giving away the masks that they've made, and so has the food pantry. So each person involved in the mask ministry has their own little job to do. Each person has their own calling. One person alone couldn't make this big of a difference. But because everybody has been working together, they've given away over 1,000 masks. Imagine that, over 1,000 masks. Together, the volunteers and the people who are wearing the masks are making a difference in the community. Let's look at another Bible verse. This sounds kind of funny. In the book of Luke, John said, but this is what it is. In the book of Luke, John said, anyone who has 2 shirts should share with the one who has none. And I got to believe that that means if you have an extra mask, you ought to be sharing that mask too. The third thing that missionaries and pioneers have in common is that they are committed. They know that the mission is an act of love. And when I think of a mission that's an act of love, first thing that comes to my head is PEP, the Personal Essentials Pantry. In 2009, the Personal Essentials Pantry was established, and they saw a need. They saw a need in our community, a need that people didn't have personal essentials, well, that they needed. So their purpose is we respond to the good news of Jesus Christ by serving the community and the world. The pantry is open twice a month, and I'll tell you what, that pandemic that we have right now has not slowed them down a bit. Rather than shutting down the pantry and having some people suffer and not being able to have what they need, they stayed open. These people are pioneers on a mission. Instead of having people come into church like they had done before, what they did is they started a drive-through PEP. So the clients are just in their cars, they drive up by the canopy, the PEP volunteers meet them with a smile on their face, although you can't see the smile on their face because they're wearing a mask, but anyways, they're met by a PEP volunteer with a smile on their face, and before they know it, there's full bags of personal essentials in their car. It's obvious that the people have the smiles on their face. The people that are getting the personal essentials have smiles, and you know that the people in PEP also have smiles as they're giving out the needed goods. It takes a lot of commitment to keep PEP going. It takes lots of donations. PEP usually spends between $700 and $1,000 a month providing for people. In the past, they used to raise money. For instance, 4 to 6 times a year or so, they would have brat sales that would bring money into PEP. The Harvest Dinner would provide money for PEP. But this year, due to the pandemic, things like the brat sale weren't possible. We couldn't have that many people together. It was too dangerous. And yet, PEP goes on. Donations have been coming in, and so many people have been helped. In Galatians we read, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And the volunteers at PEP do not give up. They are on a mission that they're going to see this through. I have another story to tell you about PEP. It's a story about these 3 young women who came into the church last week. The 3 of them came in 2 cars that were chock full of supplies for PEP. Now, instead of going over the story myself on how this all happened, I'm going to let Cooper Henkel from Channel 12 News describe the story to you. He'll do a lot better job than I will.